Hello, my name is Melana Brocht, and the title of my presentation is The Secret Life of the American Dreamer. I did not come to this place easily in my life, and when I reference this place in my life, I mean becoming a professional middle-class individual who gets to get her hair done regularly. As many other individuals who have lived the American dream can tell you, achieving class mobility is not an easy task. Being able to move to a higher social class, such as one moving from poverty to middle class, is very challenging, but also very expensive. In fact, it's one of the most expensive commodities one could ever attain. The price isn't in cash, it's in self. Class mobility cost me my time, my family, my mannerisms, and even my identity. The principles and values and socialization processes I was taught since birth, the very essence of what made me who I am, had to be traded for who I wanted to be. It was seen as a betrayal of sorts by many around me, for reasons I will describe later, but it was the only way I would survive and break the cycle of poverty within my life. To achieve class mobility, two things had to change in my life. First, I had to discover and change the hidden drives of survival from my social class. Second, I had to replace hidden mannerisms that had been taught to me since birth and replace them with middle-class mannerisms. By choosing to change my mannerisms to model the middle class and learning how to shift those hidden drives to middle-class drives, I finally found the path to class mobility as promised in the American dream. I was living the dream. I still am. Though sometimes I feel like I'm an undercover spy, ready to be discovered at any time. Natural instincts are hard to fight, but not impossible. But the first step is acknowledging the hidden roles of my class. So, if I were to present this video wearing an elegant ball gown, I'm sure I would get many looks of disapproval. You might even call your coworkers in the office next to you to tell them of the girl who auditioned in a ball gown from JCPenney. Better yet, imagine if I presented this video wearing nothing but jeans and a t-shirt. At first glance, I would lose your respect because I would not be seen as taking this application seriously. You might watch it for 30 seconds, but you would most likely throw it out. I understand. You can't be represented by someone who doesn't even have the courtesy of throwing on a nice blouse and some makeup. But since I dress in a professional manner, I have avoided these horrible first impressions that would have broken something of yours called a hidden rule. In this case, it is of the middle class. Though it was not specified to dress in a certain way for this video, it is assumed that one needs to dress professionally to apply for such a high-profile event at a university level. This untalked about expectation for attire is just one of many hidden rules that feed into the hidden drives of the middle class. If hidden rules are the Great Lakes, or hidden drives of the Great Lakes, then the hidden rules are the rivers that feed into it. In the book Bridges Out of Poverty, Dr. Ruby Payne describes these hidden rules as unspoken cues and habits of a group. These are different in each social class, and they're dependent on what it takes to survive in each social class. Hidden rules affect all areas of our life, from food to dress to occupation, language, money, respect, and especially relationships. As we go deeper into the analysis of these hidden rules, we find they are rooted in the hidden drives of each social class. Focusing solely on those in generational poverty, which is poverty of individuals who have been in poverty for more than 2 generations, and middle class, Dr. Ruby Payne explains the hidden drives for generational poverty is of relationships and entertainment. For middle class, it is to work and to gain achievement. In saying that, let me tell you about my friend Jenna. Jenna is in generational poverty. She grew up in generational poverty. She's in her early 20s and she has cognitive disabilities that has prevented her from going to college successfully. A few years ago, Jenna had jumped from pizza job to waitressing job to pizza job again, realizing she needed something different to be financially stable. Thanks to the Oklahoma Department of Rehabilitation Services, she was able to get a good, well-paying job with benefits as a janitor. And she was doing very well. She was able to live out on her own for over a year. About the same time, she also met a guy who I would call Sam. And he lived about 45 minutes away from her. They were a perfect match in literally all ways. including growing up in generational poverty. Due to Sam living so far away, the relationship began to suffer. In an attempt to save it, Jenna quit her janitor job and moved in with Sam and has been unable to find work ever since. Now, on the outside looking in, we middle-class individuals are racking our brains trying to understand why she would do such a thing. I mean, how could she quit her job over a relationship? And why didn't she secure another job before quitting her current one? I'm sure we have all said these exact same things about someone else in our life before. To us, these decisions seem unwise, but for Jenna, it was very wise. Jenna relied on that emotional support of her boyfriend, just as he relied on her emotional support. To Jenna, choosing the relationship over the work and achievement was wise because she had lived without money most of her life. But to find an intimate, supportive relationship, that was a hard resource to find. And this is just one example of how the hidden rules and drives of our class influence the decisions we make.